Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the NECA Toys Ash versus the Evil Dead. Bloody Ash faces Demon Spawn. This 3-pack gives us one Ash, an older Ash from the new Ash and Evil Dead series, and 2 Demon Spawns. Very creepy looking, very creepy looking. Down below, an image of Bruce Campbell from the new series, a little bit older, a little bit wiser. Okay, a little bit older. Outside of the box, you've got a Starz original series, Ash versus Evil Dead. And then on the back, a read-up says, Ash vs. Evil Dead follows Ash, the stock boy, aging Lothario, and chainsaw-handed monster hunter who has spent the last 30 years avoiding responsibility, maturity, and the terrors of the Evil Dead. While a deadite plague threatens to destroy all of mankind, Ash is finally forced to face his demons, personal and literal destiny, and it turns out he has no plans to release the unlikely hero from its evil grip. Down below, other the singular figures there. The stock boy Ash, and then you've got the blue costumed, more iconic looking Ash. And then finally on the underside, head over to www.necaonline.com if you want to check out more from NECA. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, though, we're going to get a better look at the Ash versus Evil Dead. Bloody Ash faces Demon Spawn. Will Ash survive? Stay tuned, guys. You'll have to find out. There's more heading your way. Why don't we have a look at the Demon Spawn first, then we'll have a look at Ash himself. Now, the Spawn children, the Demon Spawn, grotesque as they might be, essentially are this same figure. The only thing that's different is the head swap on the top portion. Other than that, everything else is pretty much the exact same, which is perfectly fine. No issues with that. You're probably going to be saying the exact same thing I'm about to say. Wait for it. If NECA wants to make use of this same mold, you see where I'm going with this? They could totally make this into a Part 1 Jason Boy. Obviously not the same head, mind you, but they could use the same body. Maybe not the same bottom pants area there, but everything else they could make use of the same body mold and give us a Part 1 Jason. I'm sure they're thinking that themselves. Or if they're watching this video and maybe they weren't thinking that way, hey, that guy's actually got a good idea. Part 1 Jason, it's right there. It is literally right there. Anyways, let's have a look at their faces, if you want to say faces, because let's look at both of them. Yeah, the only difference really being between the two is one is more in a yelling sculpt, one more has the grimmest teeth. There's something rather creepy, first of all, about a smaller demon critter like this, but also the fact that you can't see its eyes. The eyes are not painted, however, they are recessed. Or not recessed, not the eye portion I should say, but the sockets where the eyes would be sitting, the whole area is recessed. You could stick your finger in there, not that you would want to. Very, very grotesque, very scary looking. The teeth are also well sculpted, and you could probably see too that they're just covered head to toe in this slick. The slick, I can assure you, is only in aesthetics and the way it looks. It's not actually, the figure doesn't have any slick feeling to it. Although if one could pinpoint any areas of being slick, it's more so in the head area, which seems to have more of a thicker wash going to it. It's also the areas that looks like it's more slightly discolored than the rest of the body. So up here, it's more of a shinier paint application. As you get further down, it's more a matte. Poseability on one of them, which really is just poseability on both of them. They do have the ball joint in the head, hinged shoulders, which hinge out. Now, I'm sure I don't have to tell you this, because they're also using smaller frames, be a little more careful when it comes to poseability. Especially, I found bending the arms out, bending them back in, I was worried about putting too much pressure on the little peg that's connecting the bicep to the arm, so just be a little careful for that. They have double hinged elbows, which is a nice touch for a figure this small, rotations and hinges in their hand. What a gross little bunch of characters these demon spawn are. Rotation in the waist, no ab crunch, but rotation in the waist. Forward and back motion on the legs, a split leg cut, so the legs can actually hinge out. Rotation on the top portion of the thigh. Hinged knee, and then you have a hinged foot. But I ask you, NECA, part 1 Jason. I'm just throwing that out there. Part 1 Jason, you give us, you don't even have to package it with Pamela. Just maybe package it with the boat. You know, just give us the boat. Maybe have Jason coming up at the side of the boat. That could be his accessory. Make it happen. Make it happen. So there are your demon spawns. I suppose I'm actually doing this somewhat out of sequence because we're looking at the 3-pack rather than the individual figures. And then we've got Ash himself. Ash is, well, he's not the young, spry, monster, demonite fighting guy that he was in the original Evil Dead. He's a little bit more older at this point. I don't have the individual Ash just yet. Actually, the only ones that I was able to find were the other 2 figures. So I did pick up an Ash, but it's the red outfit Ash rather than the blue. But I think the blue one is pretty much the same figure, other than this one is just soaked in blood. Face sculpt for an older Bruce Campbell, I think, is spot on. I think they did a pretty bang-up job there. And much like the actor himself, the figure is a little bit more fuller, let's say. He's a little fuller in the torso, fuller in the legs, so to speak. It is interesting, though, that the torso, maybe not so much from the front, but when you feel it from the back, it feels as if they've covered over a torso with the more rubbery appliance of the new sculpt, giving us, first of all, more of a feel for fabric. Not that you would have a rubbery fabric shirt, but it also probably allows them to make use of an older mold, being that the frame is probably inside there. But he looks great, though. Looks stellar. Blood all over, head to toe. Literally head to toe. He's got blood, well, not maybe as much in the shoes, but he's certainly got it running down the one leg area, and he is soaked on his arm and chainsaw. The chainsaw looks great. Primarily a red chainsaw, that's his go-to, and then he's got the dark wash there. The blade itself has a rusted metallic look to it. I love the little scratches and scrapes on the blade. And then it's got the red soaked treatment there as well. You probably saw it during the course of me handling this guy, but you can very easily pop the chainsaw portion of his hand off, and you can replace it with the mechanical hand, just like so, which is actually a little harder of the 2 things to get back in the socket, but you can display it like that if you so wish. I'm a purist myself. I prefer the chainsaw personally, but if you want to use the more robotic hand, you can do that. The other thing to come included with Ash, yes, would have to be his boomstick. And it looks, again, great. Doesn't have as much paint, though, additional paint, as that of the chainsaw, but it still looks pretty cool. He has the area in the back where you can take the boomstick, slide it right down, and he can be displayed with this, to which I'll probably then display him with the chainsaw. But if you want to display his boomstick in hand, he does have one sculpted hand to which you can display the boomstick. And you just kind of have to spread the fingers ever so slightly to get the shotgun actually in there. There we go. There we go. And you get something that looks like that. Love it. I want to say that he reads like he's a little too squat. Like his legs don't feel like they're long enough. But I guess it's maybe just me. But it does look like his legs are a little too short. Let's go ahead and take the shotgun out of his hand after all that effort of me trying to get it into his hand. Let me take it out there. There we go. And let's just put the hand back into the place of the socket. Now, when it comes to his posability, he does have the ball joint head, hinged shoulders once again. The arms rotate all the way around. He has a bend at the elbow, rotates at the forearms, rotates at the hand, and along the way, the hands will pop out. This one hand always pops out for me. He does have what appears to be a crunch of some sort in his torso, a swivel back and forth, and because these are the newer NECA figures, he does have the swivel back and forth on the legs, a split on the thighs, or a split on the legs, so you can do, well, not quite the splits, but... And then he does have a bend at the knee, a rotation on the lower leg, and a hinge and rotation in the foot. To be honest, I actually have not watched very many episodes of Ash vs. the Evil Dead. I know, like, why? Spot, why? You like Evil Dead. How come you haven't watched it? Just everything else, you know. Right now I'm kind of in the middle, knee-deep of Dexter, so that's kind of like occupying my time right now. And of course, Walking Dead. But I will go back and try to watch the rest of the episodes of Ash vs. the Evil Dead. It actually looks like a good show for what little I've watched of it. The figures look great. NECA does done another outstanding job. NECA does well, I think, when it comes to the Evil Dead franchise. They've given us certainly a ton of figures over the years, and this one's going to be very proudly displayed along with the other Ashes. Today's Toy Spot, we were looking at the 3-pack, even though technically these are kind of like the same similar character, or similar figure. We're looking at Ash versus Demon Spawn. These grotesque, creepy little things behind, which I might also add, Friday the 13th Part 1 Jason. Come on, guys, Friday the 13th Part 1 Jason. Who's with me? Make it happen, NECA! Stay tuned, guys. Certainly stay tuned. Spot's got more videos heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.